Well, here we are. Beautiful Dover. Flat as a pancake. I like this place. A lot of people don't. Hey, I think it's cool. Good seafood. Go down to the beach. Mess around. See what's going on. Sort of a small town, yeah. No borders, no Barnes & Noble, no airport. You got to fly into Philly or over to BWI in Baltimore, Washington. Or you can drive up. Nice drive. 9 hours from North Carolina. Done that a few times. But we're here Thursday. Mike Mulhern for MikeMulhern.net. We got some stories. New pit road. About time, if you ask me. This has been one of those dangerous pit roads in NASCAR for years because they got the horse track on the inside and they won't change the horse track. Hey, okay, those horses don't go 200 miles an hour into the corners. So they've changed pit road. Be glad to see changes and see what they really mean. They've drug it all the way out to the middle of the third and fourth turn, and they've got 43 spots now, so everybody gets their own pit. They don't have to share pits. That's pretty good. I like what Dennis McLean does up here. I like Dennis. He's a good old boy. I think he ought to have a racetrack of his own down south somewhere. Of course he does. Gateway, Nashville. Maybe they should be on the tour. St. Louis, Nashville. Better than some of the places we go. Got chewed out by NASCAR today. Wrote a story this morning on the way up. Now that NASCAR's had its Tuesday meeting with all the drivers and car owners and crew chiefs, and they all stood up and gave their 2 cents worth. We'll see what that comes up to be. Probably not much. Nice PR move, though. Now it's time, I think, for NASCAR to have town meetings with the fans. Yep, the fans. Hey, if it's good enough for Obama and McCain, if they can face the music, I think Brian and Lisa and Jim France and all those people and Mike Helton and Brett Bodine and everybody, they can face the fans too. I think we ought to have a series of town meetings the rest of the summer, once a month. I think we'll start at Loudon. Then maybe we'll go to Daytona, and then maybe we'll go to Chicago. Just see what the fans have to say about all this. They're the ones paying the freight, remember. They're the ones paying the bills for all these big planes and big salaries. Souvenir sales aren't very good right now. NASCAR needs to shake things up. Speaking of shaking things up, looks to me like those TV ratings at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Sunday down 14% from last year, which wasn't too good anyway. I think that Tony George has got some work ahead of him. Heard there was a big showdown after that race. They wanted him to spend more time on the Indy Racing League. Well, that's good. Probably ought to. Me? I think NASCAR ought to be doing a deal with the Indy Racing League. I think double headers. If it's going to be a 3-day weekend at these racetracks, let's make it a good 3-day weekend. IndyCar's Friday night prime time. Nationwide or trucks, maybe even a doubleheader there. Saturday and Sunday the Cup race. Let's make something happen. IndyCars and NASCAR, hey, it's win-win for me. Economy's bad. IndyCars give NASCAR sponsors a little different market. I think it's worth looking into. But the big story, of course, today on Thursday is Dale Earnhardt Jr. Okay, don't laugh. Stop laughing. I can hear you right here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a new crew chief. We all knew it was coming. There's nothing wrong with Tony Eury Jr. And they're going to shuffle him off to the R&D department. Hey, bad move on Rick Hendrick's part. Of course, getting rid of Kyle Busch was a bad move on Hendrick's part, too. So now he's put Lance McGrew in charge of Dale Jr. next week at Pocono for the rest of the year as an interim crew chief, he says. Not quite sure what that means. Do you want to be the crew chief for Dale Earnhardt Jr., the most popular driver in NASCAR? Hey, that's a no-win situation. If you don't win, it's your fault. If you do win, he gets the credit. This weekend, Brian Weitzel, good guy for Hendrick, is going to take in the job. To me, that sounds like Plan B wasn't in place. To me, that sounds like, not very good planning. This is not like something we didn't see coming. Maybe Rick Hendrick's been preoccupied. Detroit, car dealerships, yep. But on the good news side, looks like Chrysler's going to go out of bankruptcy really soon, maybe next week. That could be good news for General Motors. June 1st is the deadline for something to happen up there in Detroit with GM. A lot of people are sweating bullets. Me, I think it's going to work out. I don't like Obama's plan. I don't like this other guy's plan, the guy that's supposed to be running General Motors either. I think they're both a bunch of losers when it comes to running the car business. But, hey, it's not my job. To me, I would never have gotten rid of Pontiac. I told John Middlebrook that too. Let it go by the wayside. Fireball Roberts is rolling over in his grave right now. Bad move. Bad move. Speaking of bad moves, Robbie Gordon. $50,000 fine for a rear end gear that NASCAR didn't like. Now I can imagine the rear end gear was cantered a little bit too much or something like that, but heck, Robbie Gordon is lucky to make the field. I still remember and get burned by the fact that he changed over to Dodge last year and got burned by NASCAR for those, whatever that fine was. It was outrageous. For having bad noses on his cars that he just bought 5 days earlier. NASCAR is not making a lot of moves that are making a lot of common sense. Carl Long called me the other day. I got to call him back and see what's going on over there. $200,000 fine on a little guy who's a spotter for a team. Bought an engine at auction. NASCAR's not hitting on all 8 cylinders right now. But they did have a town meeting. Tuesday, the R&D Center. Listen to a lot of drivers talk, a lot of car owners talk, a lot of crew chiefs talk. 2 sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Hey, that's not the way to do it. Sorry, guys. Town meeting for the fans, yes. At each venue. Hey, I'd set aside time on Sunday morning and talk and listen. Listen, NASCAR's not very good at listening. They should listen a little better. Maybe even to MikeMulhern.net here at Dover. On Thursday, waiting to see what happens next.